Our planet is dying. Burning of fossil fuels and excessive CO2 emissions cause global warming and can end life as we know it. It can cause bigger forest fires and more intense tornadoes.
The entire process begins when water is pumped into the earth, at which point the water is then heated by the earth's magma as well as its internal temperature, following which the water is then released back up into a plant. At the plant, it's pressurized to become steam. Once it becomes steam, it's placed into a turbine. The turbine is then turned by the steam and then is pumped out to a generator. The generator then takes the power and energy that's created by the steam in the turbine and turns it to become electricity. The following is a simulation of what actually would occur inside of a geothermal power plant.
It's a geothermal simulation apparatus. As you can see, you pour water into one end. This pot of boiling water, simulates the earth, or the heat from the earth. Water goes down into the earth, goes through the heat, and as it's going through, it absorbs some of the heat from the earth, from the nuclear radiation inside the earth, and from the absolute heat of the magma. And the water absorbs that heat, and it evaporates. It gets really hot. So what we're going to do is pour this cold ice water from this Hello Kitty cup into this funnel. It's going to go through, under the water, it's going to get warm, it's going to come out the other end, into there, and it's hopefully going to be hot, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, now you can see this water. It's much warmer than it was originally. This is just a simulation, but realistically, the water would evaporate inside of the pipe before it comes out.
Geothermal energy has a lot of recreational uses you could use for your house, such as heating the water, for your showers, for anything else that you could think of. You could also use geothermal energy to heat the floors, and then the energy will radiate up towards the ceiling, and then it will heat the house. Geothermal is among the top rising sources of energy. Over the past 30 years, consumption of this environmentally friendly energy has risen by 20%. Its largest producer, the United States, has utilized minimum CO2 emission energy to power 6% of California, while other smaller nations like Iceland use 95% geothermal.
Every homeowner should consider installing a geothermal unit in their household. Geothermal units, although very expensive at first, are well subsidized by the government, and in the long run, they can prove to save a lot of money. In 3 to 5 years, most geothermal units can pay back for themselves.
On the negative side of geothermal energy, there's the fact that it can only be produced near tectonic plate boundaries, thus limiting it to the west coast of the United States. Secondly, energy transfer from the west to the east coast is limited by the second law of thermodynamics, in which it states, energy is always lost through transfer. Geothermal is completely underutilized within the United States as well as most of the world. Due to this fact, many buyers are discouraged into going into the unforeseen and unfamiliar source of energy. As it is with any energy source, there is a necessary amount of CO2 to go into its construction and creation. With any construction, there's also the possibility that you'll run into problems, for example, an underlying aquifer that was not originally found inside the geological survey. Thus, the construction of the pumps will have to be restarted from scratch and an extra amount of CO2 will be produced.